This is Dan Fox, and this is going to be the first in what I hope is going to be a long-running series of vlogs about movies and video games and whatnot. Today, I just finished watching Batman Year One. It's a new animated film from DC, uh, and it's really good. I was kind of taken aback about how good it was. I wasn't expecting much out of it, to be honest. I thought they kind of set the standard with Mask of the Phantasm and Under the Red Hood, two other Batman animated movies. Um, but in some aspects, they really surpassed those two, and they did a very good job with handling much more mature subject matter and character progression in this. It really came out phenomenal, especially the ending. The ending is really cool how they handled it. But basically, Batman Year One is about both Bruce Wayne and Commissioner Gordon conveniently come back to Gotham City around the same time. It's been about 12 years since Bruce Wayne's parents have been murdered, and Commissioner Gordon is transferring from another department. I don't think he's been to Gotham before, but he's transferring from another department for an unexplained reason. And they're both trying to get their sea legs, so to speak. Bruce Wayne's, struggling to find his niche as Batman, and then Gordon's trying to, he's basically playing Serpico and struggling against corruption in the department, the Gotham City Police Department. And honestly, Gordon is the focus of the movie. It really should have been called Jim Gordon Year One, because he plays about 60% of the movie is about him and about his character, and his is much more fleshed out. The movie relies heavily upon the audience's supposed knowledge of Batman and who he is and why he does what he does, to kind of muscle it through the Batman parts. Not that they're bad, but just to kind of get his motivation clear. But it's mostly focused on Gordon and his struggle to clean up the Gotham Police Department. And he has a hell of a time doing that, because the whole thing's is corrupt as hell. He runs into a brick wall everywhere he goes, and it's really cool watching him struggle against the obstacles that are put in his path. It's not what you'd expect out of a Batman movie. When I was expecting Batman to come in and throw a few batarangs and give Gordon some advice, but there's barely any interaction between the two, and it's very well done when there is. But mostly it's Gordon just coming up with his own ways to battle the corruption, and then Batman coming up with his own ways to fight crime on his own. And then at the end, the two stories kind of come to a head, and it's really cool how the stories intertwine at the end. The movie's worth checking out just for the ending, because it's very well done. It's really not what you'd expect, but the animation in the movie is really good. The bar's been set pretty high with the other animated DC movies, but this one's really cool. I feel like it doesn't have as much anime influence as some of the other ones have. Like Under the Red Hood had a fair amount of Japanese influence in its art style. This one feels a lot more American, like a lot more Batman the Animated Series. And also, it just feels a lot crisper. It feels like there's more detail in it, and especially the action scenes are really well done. They're very brutal. They're very quick, which I feel adds to the brutality of them. And they're very well done. They're very enjoyable to watch. Very adrenaline pumping. And the voices are also very good. I'm usually opposed to any Batman being played by anyone besides Kevin Conroy, who was the voice of Batman in the animated series. But I didn't really object to the new Batman. He didn't stand out as anything new or special, but he didn't do a bad job either. And Gordon did a really good job. I really like the guy that got to play Gordon's voice. The story it's very well handled, and I don't know how much credit should go to Frank Miller for the story because I haven't read the original comic Batman Year One. Uh, but it's no matter who wrote it, it's a really awesome story, and it's a really good retelling of kind of how Batman got its legs and how he and Commissioner Gordon met at the end. Um, yeah, it's definitely worth it. At the bare minimum, if you like comic books and or you like Batman or you've liked the other Batman movies, it's definitely worth a rental. Don't let the fact that it's an animated movie throw you off watching it because it's much more mature than other Batman movies. There's child prostitution, there's sex clubs all over the place, there's people getting shot and firebombed by the police. It doesn't play around with the subject matter. It goes to the edge on it, and it really pushes the limits of what it's dealing with, and it portrays all those things very well in a very mature fashion. So it's definitely worth checking out if you like a good story. Even if you just like police stories, it's definitely worth a look. So I hope you guys like it.